Hello, and welcome to another episode of the World Spa Podcast. A space where we reflect, we grow, and we connect with what makes us truly human. And I'm so glad to have you on board today. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Also, you could visit our website on www.well-spa.com. Whether you're coming from a place of faith, philosophy, or just personal curiosity, you are welcome here. This is a safe space not for judgment, but for honest reflection. And today's episode, is deep, uncomfortable, even, but necessary. It's about the human heart and how sometimes our biggest enemy is not out there, it is in here. And today's episode has been titled When the Heart Turns Against You. When the Heart Turns Against You. So, what are the unseen battles within? The unseen battles within. There's a verse from the sacred scripture, Jeremiah 17, verse 9. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" Now, whether you follow the Bible or not, the idea still holds weight across every tradition, every religion, from Islam to Buddhism, from Christianity to psychology. There is this one truth. The greatest battles we face often happens inside of us, the mind, the hearts, the intentions behind our actions. Sometimes we like to think of evil as something out there, a shadowy force that influences others but not us. But the Bible flips the mirror and says, no, look closer, look inward. The real battle is not external, it is actually internal. So let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Babs. He was talented, passionate, full of potential. But every time his friends succeeded, whether it was a promotion, a relationship, or just public praise, something inside Babs grew bitter. He actually smiled and clapped, but in his heart, he would think, why him? He actually doesn't deserve it. If only people knew the real Tammy. Maybe I should just expose him. These thoughts were not from a witch doctor, not from a demon, not from a jealous neighbor. They were his own thoughts, his own heart quietly suggesting the idea of sabotaging a friend, all while looking innocent. That's the heart Jeremiah is talking about. Now you might ask, why is it my own heart that comes up with these things? Here's the answer: because the heart is where all unfiltered desires live. It's not the environment. It is not always temptations. It is what is already inside of us. We are not sinners because we sin. We sin because we are sinners. The source is the heart. And science has agreed with us that psychologists psychologists talk about cognitive bias, jealousy, and self-sabotage behaviors that rise not from the outside but from within. And that is why it's actually dangerous to assume we are good people just because we do good things. Sometimes we need to inspect the motive, not just the action. So, what do we do with this? Do we actually sit in guilt? Absolutely not. But we must be willing to be honest, to admit that even the best of us have dark corners in our hearts, corners we rarely explore. Whatever your path, whether you pray, meditate, you read a journal, or simply sit in stillness, this is an invitation to actually search your heart. What is living there? What has been whispering in the background of your thoughts? Is it envy? Is it pride? Is it bitterness? Is it secret anger? Is it hatred? Or is it to take someone's life? Not to shame us, but to begin the process of healing and transformation. Now, in the book of Psalms, there's a prayer that David prayed. It says, "Create in me a clean heart." David did not say, "Repair a clean heart." David did not say, "Repair my heart." Sorry. It says, "Create in me a clean heart." Now, you don't need to be religious to pray that. No. It's actually a human cry, a humble act that desires to become more centered, more loving, more aware. Whether you call it God, the universe, spirit, or simply your higher self, we all need help taming what lives in us. You see, we clean our homes, we get new phones. When our screen at the our phone cracks, we try to change it. We get new cars, we get new hair. We even detox our diets to live healthy. But how often do we detox our hearts? So here's your soul check for today. What is your heart devising right now about yourself, your neighbor, your political opponent, your past, your future, your daughter, your sister in law, your mother in law, your auntie in law, your cousin, your colleague at work? Now, the enemy might not be external, it might just be that old story you keep rehearsing, that grudge you're still feeding, that comparison you refuse to release. But the good news, healing is possible and growth is available, and it starts with awareness. So here's my challenge for you today. What has your own heart been whispering lately? Have you been secretly resentful of someone's success? Have you found joy in someone else's downfall? Have you been feeding thoughts that you never dared to speak out loud? If yes, don't run from it. No, don't hide it under spiritual busyness. Bring it to light. Confess it. Let God heal. Let God deal with it. Because you can't heal what you won't reveal. The heart of a man is desperately wicked. Yes, that's the diagnosis from today's episode. But the good news, God is actually the great cardiologist. He is in the business of heart transplant. He is in the business of taking the heart of stone and giving us a heart of flesh. He doesn't just make us behave better, He makes us become better. And I want you to really think this through. And I want you to also remember that you're not alone in this journey. And your heart, no matter how messy, is not beyond hope. And our episode quote for today's episode is, "The most dangerous voice is not the one outside your door, it is the one inside your heart. But the most powerful healing starts there too." I'm going to take that again. The most dangerous voice is not the one outside your door, it is the one inside your heart. But the most powerful healing actually starts there too. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining today's episode of the World Spa Podcast. If this touched something deep in you, share it with someone who may need a moment of heart reflection. Until I see you next week, next time, stay grounded, stay growing, and most importantly, stay inspired. Thank you so much. Bye bye.